Aloha, everyone. As far as this market is concerned, you can stick a fork in it. It is done. The basically bull market that started in October in the overall market is officially dead following today. The NASDAQ is closing below its 200-day moving average on well above average volume. This now switches the NASDAQ from a neutral signal to a clear sell signal. The NASDAQ 100 is basically inches away from switching to a sell signal. There's no need to wait. It joins the rest of the market under a sell signal. And if anybody thinks that, okay, well, we've seen the worst of it because finally, Josh, if you're talking to me, that you say my name, Josh, you'll say, hey, the VIX, it almost hit 20. Plenty of fear, plenty of fear. Well, no, 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 no. In October, we hit 30. And in 2008, we hit, 90. So, calm down there. We do have some fear in the market, but it isn't too extreme yet. To me, it looks like we're just getting started. But we could still bounce around here. I would prefer it. The markets like to fill gaps, and unfortunately, today's sell-off, I did not switch half my orders in my DIA short to a market order. I did not switch my DXD. Damn it, man. That's all right. I thought I was already chasing by this signal being too early, and when it was gapping up in the morning or gapping down in case of the DIA, I did not chase, kept my limit orders. I really did think that it was going to back and fill back into the range yesterday before it just fell apart, and there's nothing I can do. I missed out on the DXD. The good news is we're still long techs, SRTY, and BIS, so we do have a hedge. The bad news is that if you look at our sell section tonight, we are loaded with sell signals. Remember, I'm still tracking a little over 60 stocks, which means that there are still 60 stocks in uptrends or stocks that have not hit my final sell stop levels, which means that I am either flat, a little up, or a little down on them. No significant losses. So it's hard to just go and anticipate. To think that the market was definitely going to sell off today is a bit, I don't know, man. I guess we did see it coming, or else why would I have gone short the DIA and long the DXD? It was rolling over, but I just thought that we maybe had a couple more days to back and fill before we got what we got today. But the bottom line is, with the S&P 500, you can see the rollover is complete. We are now breaking to new 2015 post-February lows. I want to ignore all this right here. This whole rollover section is the big one from February to the rollover to now. Ugly sell-off. And as you can see with the oscillators, nowhere near the oversold levels in October in TSV or MACD, nowhere near the oversold levels that we saw in RSI or stochastics. The same thing can be said with the NASDAQ. We're getting there, but we're not oversold yet. So we could have a swoon fest technically before we get oversold. And the same can be said with the MACD and TSV, nowhere near those extreme oversold levels. Russell 2000 is just slowly drifting down, a slow death. It's already, not good, hitting new lows, down 2.53% on heavy volume. But the Russell 2000 also, while it's getting there, the oscillators are nowhere near extreme oversold levels that we have seen before in these oscillators. So while they're low, they're nowhere near screaming that it's too low. So there could easily be more downside left. The bottom line is things just do not look good now. Look at this Dow Jones Industrial Average. If you can find a reason to somehow to find this bullish, you are a magician with your imagination, because this is extremely ugly. Death cross, and then instead of a death cross and then a retake of the 5200-day moving average, you have a death cross, then a breakdown. Not good. Not good at all. And the Dow Jones Transportation Average looks like it's ready to roll over as it's retaken out its 50-day moving average on heavier volume. Nowhere near oversold. So once again, not good at all. And with the VIX just starting to jump, we're starting to get some fear out there. I saw in the Investors Intelligence Survey, bulls have come down to a new 2015 low, and bears have ticked up to right around 19%, but until they cross, until I see more bears than bulls, until I see a VIX over 30, I'm not going to start thinking of a bottom. And until I see my oscillators, MACD, TSV, stochastics, and RSI at those extreme oversold levels, you're just not going to see me screaming bottom. And another reason for that is I now have no more good-looking stocks. Remember BLDR, our most recent long, our best-looking long? Look at what happened immediately after the pocket pivot point signal. So we get our long signal, still max green bop, still beautiful chart. Remember, I said symmetrically, this pattern here is too short for this pattern here, and it's too sloppy relative to this pattern overall, so don't expect it to be successful with this market. Well, it turned out that it did work out. We got an immediate pocket pivot point signal, but on day 3, or day 2 really, following the long signal, we've already lost our max green bop. Not only did we lose our max green bop, we actually pulled back to an above average volume. I don't expect BLDR to hold up. So once again, we're having some pretty big issues. And then look at CBPO. This was a long-term winner with a big gain. That move right there is a move to get all the way out. There's no need to hold on and wait for the 200-day moving average. It very well could bounce higher here. But if that's the case, I'd rather reestablish a position in a chart that looks like this than hold on. The same can be said for PAN-W. Technically, PAN-W wouldn't be a full sell if this was happening during an uptrend. We'd do another 50% sell here and still see how it plays out. But since the market's under a complete sell signal across the board, this is also a full sell signal. And this just happened everywhere. I mean, we just have fails everywhere. Now, most of these stocks I'm all the way out of, but some of these I'm not. VRX is another example. We're long this one from November. And if this was happening, this day right here was happening during an uptrend, we're definitely holding on to at least these lows here. But with everything that's happening, I'm moving up my final sell stop to today's low a day because this stock looks done. It's not really a chart pattern I even want to be long anymore, even though we still have gains in it. I'd rather have a whole new base set up and then get re-long than hold on and see what happens here. But it's just like this everywhere. There's just breakdowns everywhere. Mid following the earnings miss, taking out its 50-day moving average, there just really isn't a bright spot. Blue finally closing below those recent support levels. LAD confirmation sell-off. That's done. BYD, a new long, closing below 20-day moving average on heavy volume under a sell signal. That's a full cut loss. HDP failing the 50-day moving average is a full sell signal. IMS confirmation closed below 50-day moving average, full sell signal. AMBA, even though it's low volume, this is a complete now rollover. It's totally rolling over. I no longer need to wait for these 93 lows, even though volume's below average. It's picking up good enough for me. This is an ugly technical pattern. Once again, I'd rather get out of it, have it give me a signal to re-get back in, then hold on and see what happens. So the bottom line is that this is just happening everywhere. AVGO, long-term winner, finally failing its 200-day moving average, so we're leaving that one now with a 36% gain on the final position. But as you can see, there are fails everywhere, 50% sells everywhere. I'm now moving up my final sell stop levels on everything to the most recent support. So Amazon here. So Amazon right now, it's a 50% sell with a move below today's low. No matter what, though, this becomes the final cut loss level right here. So this low a day right here. Technically, it's going to probably end up being this level because if it does break the 50-day moving average on heavier volume, it will be a 100% sell signal based on this earnings reversal and this now breakdown on heavier volume. So close below the 50-day moving average. It will be all out. Netflix final sell stop gets moved up to this level. However, if it barely closes below the 50-day moving average on heavier volume before hitting this final sell stop level, it will be a full sell. DY, these levels for a full sell, and that just goes for anything that's a 50% sell. RDUS was a 50% sell tonight. These levels right here closes below that. It's a full sell. So the bottom line is EA is a 50% sell signal tonight. So where would I put the final sell stop? Well, to be honest, it's got to be back here. Yeah, you might still be able to give this the 200-day moving average still. This might be one that I give a little bit more time since it's up 50%. But we'll see. It also looks like it's rolling over. Pretty ugly. All the charts look like this, though. There's really nothing that's holding up that's looking fine. The things that are holding up are like FIX. And FIX looks like it's just barely holding on, and it's ready to roll over. AVOL. Same thing. Looks like it's barely holding on. Looks like it's churning, just like FIX. So those are what we have left. And like I said, our new longs are now starting to fail. And a lot of people were asking me, how come you don't have any new long signals lately? Well, now you know. This is a sick-looking market. There is one thing I think I want to do this evening. I want to go ahead and put on some volatility hedge, but it's only going to be 2.5% of my account capital. First cut loss below 619. Second cut loss below 552. might be doing it into 3 pairs here. Instead of 552, I might be doing 546 with then a final sell stop below 531, 2.5%.